PM versus vendor. Team play for success.
I'm Gabriela Coahla and I have been a certified bilingual translator English to French and Romanian since 2010. I consider myself a beyond words vendor and I love being close to my PMs.
I'm Lucia Gutierrez, a localization project manager with almost 10 years of experience. I have worked in many different LSPs with many different hats, but always focusing on project management, as it is the job I enjoy the most.
Hello everyone, we are back with another special episode and a special duo.
Hello, Gabriela. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we've got two important ladies with us that they are close to our hearts for different reasons. So I'm gonna start introducing Anna. Anna will play as the PM side today, although I gotta say that she's not really a PM. She's a linguist, but she's lucky enough to work in-house, so she's got a lot of collaboration and communication with PMs in the office. Her language combinations are Spanish, because she's native Spanish, English and German. And I think she can be a really good asset for this episode because she can understand better the dynamics between PMs and vendors. She's also really active in the community as she's a writer and a content creator as well, and she shares insights about freelancer and our industry. So welcome, Anna.
Thanks a lot, Lucia. Very happy to be here. Thanks a lot.
Welcome, Anna. And from Team Vendors, we have a true vendor. We are joined by Andrea Egeresi. I hope I pronounce it well. I don't know.
It's difficult, Egeresi, so...
Yeah, sorry for that. You are an English to Hungarian medical and pharmaceutical translator. Kudos, it's a tough sector. And you are also a linguistic validation consultant with more than 13 years in the sector, so which is kudos to you again. So you focus on medical content, clinical trial documentation, regulatory materials, so everything about the medical sector, and especially to care about the patient. And I also know you are very active in the community, and you have built like an awareness about everything when it comes to medical translation, human translation. So I know that you're committed to clear communication also when it comes to what we translate for the patients. So I'm really, really happy to have you here because you have been a very kind supporter of our podcast. So welcome, really.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Gabby, and for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, Lucia, tell us more about today's
That's what I was going to start telling you about. So, as you know, as part of this anniversary special series, we are repeating all topics that we've already discussed, but we believe that they need more visibility, or we would like other people to comment on that because we think are important. So today we're going to be talking about the dreaded unsolicited job requests or unsolicited LinkedIn messages, as you want to call it.
So yeah, I will start with the vendor, with Andrea. So my first question is, what makes an outreach message respectful, and what makes it a bit irritating? What do you think? When it's too much, when it's too less?
I think it's easier to answer when it is irritating. I think the basic answer is when it is highly unsolicited and inappropriate. For example, I imagine that if someone posts a job opportunity on LinkedIn, and but your language pair is not listed, but you decide to send a CV or send an outreach, and imagine that person already receives tens or hundreds of CVs for the language pair they are searching for, and then you come with a language pair they don't need. I think that is highly disturbing. I can imagine a situation like that. For me, respectful means that it comes at a convenient moment. You tailor it for the person, you personalize it. Because if you send generic messages that are sent to tens of people, you don't bring value. So you need to know the person you are writing to. You need to know what you're looking for, what you can offer. You have to be relevant. That's my say on this.
Some quite strong keywords. Really, thank you. What about you, Anna? What would you add?
I quite agree with Andrea. Actually, if the project management, we receive a lot of unsolicited requests for language experts we haven't listed in our offer, then we wonder how those persons could follow some type of project rules. I mean, for example, the delivery date, or using these kind of tools, or using these kind of glossaries, things like that. That make me wonder if those people are really professionals in that cases. Also, for example, what I really think, and it's difficult for us because we haven't been taught to market ourselves. So this is quite difficult. But we are language professionals. We should use, or we have to use the language to market ourselves. And we have that power not all people can have. And I love saying that I play with words. We language professionals, we play with words. So as Andrea says, use use the language to tailor your messages. Do a research of those companies or those agencies. Do they need your language pair? Do they need your niche, your industry? For example, marketing or technical medical translations, they maybe need more vendors, more freelancers. So this is what really makes a message outstanding from the others. So be there, and also don't try to sell yourself. I mean, that's a little bit like, okay, if I'm sending a cold message and I'm like marketing myself, how can I not sell myself? Use a language. This is your power. Try to, I don't know, be persuasive with your language and with your words, and then try to get the attention of that project manager for sure.
Yeah, that's really true. I get a lot of unsolicited job requests, as you can imagine, ladies. And it's quite annoying, as you both said, that you are asking for for a specific language combination, and then you get a myriad of messages that are not related to that language combination nor to that expertise, which is like, okay. So I'm asking you, Anna, do you think that PMs should answer to every inquiry? And if so, why?
Short short answer will be no. For example, if I'm asking for a language pair, I don't know, English, Spanish, and if you are Italian, French, why I should answer that request? Have you read my offer? Have you read the characteristics of the offer? No. So if it is a general message, for example, on LinkedIn, or even a private message, because it's true that many vendors, what they do is like, okay, maybe I don't comment on the message on LinkedIn, for example. I just send a a DM, and then it could be more visible to the manager. But this is also a time we have, or we need, to answer the correct offers and the correct requests we are getting. So why we should answer to everything when they don't, let's say, comply, or they don't follow the needs or the requests we have? So this would be like, the short answer is no, but also depends. Maybe it's the language barrier, maybe it's not the industry, but maybe in the future it could be needed. So okay, yeah, then in this case could be a good I don't know, opportunity to have this person, this freelancer on your pool or under your visibility.
Yeah, I totally get it. Another thing that comes to my mind is if you put a deadline and then you get the message after the deadline, forget about it. But Andrea, what's your take on this? Do you think PMs should answer to every inquiry?
As a vendor, I don't expect to be answered necessarily when there is a bulk. So when clients ask us to send CVs or to reach out and they receive bulk messages, a lot of them, you can't expect to receive an answer if you are not the perfect fit for them, or if they don't want to establish a connection for the present or for the future. The case is different when you are approached directly, because that happens a lot, when you receive an email sent to you specifically, asking for your CV, for your experience, you reply and then crickets. Now that's disrespectful. So if someone is reaching out, I expect to receive an answer. If I am the one sending a CV and there are a lot of other people doing the same thing, of course I don't expect an answer if I'm not the chosen one.
Yeah, but we can also let the vendors who are, this is for the PMs, let the vendors know that we receive a lot of, application, etc. So I don't know if I send an application to the exact requirements and I don't receive a reply, I can feel low. I'm human. I can feel a bit disappointed. So maybe consider a standard message. I know there are some vendors who hate them because there are standard replies, but I like them. I will always choose a standard reply instead of no answer. I don't know if it makes sense. But when now I'm coming back to you, Andrea, because as I said, you are part of the community, especially on LinkedIn, and it's so nice to read your posts. So here is a question for you. When do you think that networking can cross the line into the pressure? Do you think that we send too many messages on LinkedIn or other channels? Do you think that we put a pressure on the PMs or on the vendor managers that we talked in another episode about? There is a bit of difference between a PM and a VM. What do you think about it?
Well, if we are talking specifically about networking, I would say that if it's not a conversation anymore, but if it's an obligation, then there's pressure. And that's something that will not result in a valuable professional relationship. And the other thing is that it shouldn't be one-sided. So if it's always one person reaching out, 1 or 2 day passes, the same person is reaching out again. So it should be two-sided. Both sides are needed in a conversation for it to be considered networking. If someone is already too pushy, or it's all about selling yourself, then the other side might feel pressured to get in touch with you, but that won't be out of their heart. It won't be something genuinely wanted. It won't be a wanted relationship.
Yeah. So would you say that for our colleagues, for vendors, for our colleagues, if we send a message, the PM or the vendor manager doesn't reply, and we send another one in 1 week because the next day for me it's too short, and they don't reply, we should stop, no? Because it's getting too much.
Yes, definitely. So if someone wants to reply, they will find the time to reply. That's what I think. So if they are not replying, that means that they are not interested in what you have to offer, and you have to accept it and move on. There are a lot of fish in the pond. So
Yeah, exactly. Anna, Lucia, you are the PM's duo. What do you think?
I totally agree with what you have said. Actually, it kind of relates with the previous questions. So obviously, when you have a normal message with the language combinations and it offers the services, the correct services for what you're looking for, of course, you can have like a template for the answer and then answer. And that person, as you said, Gabi, you feel seen. That's very important, of course. And as Andrea has mentioned, there is a limit. So I have been also in the other side. And I have been a freelancer. I have been there marketing myself, and there is like a limit of 3 messages. So you send the first like call email or first call message. Okay, perfect. You market yourself. Okay, maybe that person answers you. That's great. Then a second email like to follow up, as you said, maybe a week after. That's great too. But if then you don't get any answer from the company, from the PMs, whatever, then I think it's enough. Because as Andrea has said, they are not interested. I mean, this is the reality. I mean, it's very sad. It's very like it hurts, but it's a reality. If you don't get any message after the second one you have sent, I think that's enough, because then it's going to be too pushy, and then they will they will see you as a person who is in need of getting a collaboration, a project, or whatever. So yeah, there is a limit of 2, 3 messages in a period of I don't know, 1 week, 2 weeks maximum.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with you, girls, because I think 2, 3 messages is enough. More than that, it's borderline. I don't want to say the word, but it's a lot. So,
Because we are
uh,
humans, PMs, vendor managers are also humans, so you have to
yeah,
understand them.
yeah, but I think it's also a matter of how you present yourself. So a friend of mine who is into sales told me once, Lucia, when you go to networking, person, like in-person networking, don't go and market yourself. Don't do sales. Just go and talk. Go and have a chat. So on LinkedIn, we should see it as networking as well. So would you go to a conference with your CV on hand and say, hello, here's my CV, bye-bye? You wouldn't. So why would you do so on LinkedIn? Why, without knowing me, why do you send me everything that you can do when I haven't even asked for it? And then you're expecting an answer, you are trying me to reply to you. Why? So sometimes when I get a first email that is like, I don't know, 2 pages long with all the qualifications they have, with all the experience they have, to me, that's already pressure. I'm sorry, maybe I'm a little bit too delicate, but to me, that's pressure already. Because it's like, no, you don't do this. So, coming from this idea, Anna, what would an ideal message look like for you?
As I said before, we are language professionals. Let's use the words to market ourselves, but without not noticing that we are like selling ourselves. So I did a study copywriting a long time ago, and I saw that was for me. Like, it is language. Actually, copywriting is the use of language to sell something, but without letting the customer or the reader know you are selling them something. So yeah, let's use language. This is our power. Come on. So also, for example, as you said, in a networking event or on LinkedIn, you don't need to sell yourself. You need to say, hey, this is what I get, or this is what you get when I'm working with you. And this is something, when I was in the other side, when I was a freelancer, this is something a PM also told me, like, who are you writing to on LinkedIn? Because I was super active on LinkedIn. So who are you writing to on LinkedIn? To other professionals? I mean, your translation professionals, or to your customers? And that like blew my mind. So when you are talking to your customer, when you say, if you work with me, you are going to get this because this is my experience, then you are getting the collaboration. So yeah, the first message, first of all, language. If you're a language professional, you have to show that you know how to use the language to sell yourself, like that, in inverted commas, and get the person know, if you work with me, you're gonna get all this impact in your market. So for example, in a Spanish market, we are going to talk to Spain or to Latam audiences. You know the different audiences, you know the market, you know the product, and this has to be shown in the first message if you want to get this collaboration or a project.
Yeah, and Andrea, what about you? What would an ideal message would look like?
as mentioned before, for me, it's important to not be too pushy. So the first message shouldn't be about, look who I am, what I know, what I can give you. It's all about me, me, me. No, it shouldn't be all about me, me, me. It should be about you. What do you need? What are your goals? Who are your audiences? And what I can give you so you can achieve your goals. So that's a priority for the message to be about your client and not about yourself. It's also important to be human. So, for example, I always put an emoji there, show that friendliness, just a hint of humanity. Like, I'm here, I'm giving a smiley face. Hope you are okay today. Hope you had a great day, or you had a great weekend. So the communication should be human-like. We are not robots. We are not machines. So generic messages like dum dum dum, this is what I do, looking forward to your reply. I think that doesn't work in networking anymore. When I finished university, this is what we were taught, to be very strict and to be very careful with your words. But over the years, what I see is exactly the opposite. So if you are out there showing who you are, and not wearing a mask as a robot or as a machine, but being human, I think it's all you need, because you seem approachable. People are more happy to reply, to engage in conversations. So that's what I can say about how I would send a first message to someone.
You are a
there are
perfect
some
mentor.
things. There are some things that really resonated with me. Like the first one was that it's not about you, it's about the person you are approaching. That's the first one that really resonates with me, because normally the messages I get is like me, 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 I can do this, I can do that. And then assertive communication, which is something that you more or less said, no? Like, okay, it's not only about me, but about what you need, what you feel. I remember it wasn't that long ago, it was like a month ago or something like that. I got an unexpected message, and it was from a CEO from an LSP, because I'm a localization manager. And the only thing he asked me was like, Lucia, I know many localization managers are struggling getting their teams to understand that AI is not a perfect machine and it cannot be used entirely by itself. How are you coping with this? He didn't say anything else. So I answered because he was asking me how I feel. And to me, that was really, really good. It was a really good first message because it got my attention. And I felt that they really cared about me.
Yeah, that's good. And Andrea, what you said, it's a perfect vendor example attitude. So I hope your advice will help our colleagues. What I want to say is that over the years, I learned that less is better. You send less messages, but you know the person who is behind that LinkedIn profile, for example. If you send I don't know, a cold message, you will not, or probably will not have a reply. But if you try to know that person, to read what they are posting, to see what they are doing, I think you will have a reply. So maybe less is better. I think this is something that I would like to conclude today's episode. Try to be human in the digital space and do less for a better output. I don't know. What do you think, Andrea, Anna, Lucia, about everything we talked today?
It has been a very interesting topic because we all receive all these unsolicited messages all the time, and you can see on LinkedIn from other mates on the industry too. And yeah, we are humans. This is super important. We are now in the AI era. Everything is machine, everything is robotic. No, come on, don't write too much, because let's be honest, who reads that much? Now we don't have time. We want something quick. And the less you I mean, it's not that the less you write, the better, but more concise makes messages much better, for sure.
100%. Andrea, a final word?
I'm really happy we discussed this topic once again because it's very relevant nowadays when sending a message is just 2 clicks away and we can do it without much effort. So it's very important to be thoughtful about what we write, who we write to. And yes, as you said, less is better.
Yeah, thank you. Lucia?
Yeah,
you have the
I
final
just
word.
want to thank both Anna and Andrea for being here with us today. As we all agreed, this is still a really relevant and important topic to discuss. And yeah, once again, Anna, Andrea, thank you. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your time and your minds so that we can discuss this topic together. And to all of you who are listening, thanks for listening, and see you until next time.
Until next time.
Thank
Thank you very
you.
much, Lacey.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 What you've heard are just our personal opinions. We by no means intend to impose our personal views on anyone. Feel free to disagree, throw tomatoes at us, or just drop a comment to let us know. Thank you!